ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, my favorite buddies. It's amazing. You can go, with just those two colors and some titanium white, you can end up with a very warm, just from straight burnt sienna and white, you can end up with a very warm, rich, high chroma area. And you continue to add some ultramarine blue to it, and it cools things off. They're very complementary to each other. They work very well on a single item. A little more light in the top of this trunk and having it fade off as we get to the bottom. I want the light up here because the trunk on the right is a little darker. I want this to blend in slightly more with the background. So I'm sort of getting close to matching the values of the background on this trunk. And I'm not worrying about it at all with the other one because, like I think I mentioned earlier, that other trunk, that's where I want my strength. And I was actually thinking of making that other trunk, adding some light in places. I may still do that, we'll see. But for the moment, it's staying very dark, which is okay with me. I don't want this to be too busy. I don't want to allow too many lines to remain. Whoops, I see I got a little sloppy there. Well, I guess I'm going to have to dirty up another brush. I wouldn't worry about it, but it's a pretty important little spot here. Okay. I'm going to use ultramarine blue and burnt sienna on this trunk as well. But I'm going to lean much more heavily to the ultramarine blue. These trunks in the background, I was using Van Dyke brown and cobalt blue a little more so. On these, actually maybe a little bit of ultramarine as well, but with Van Dyke brown. This one I'm going to be using, okay, let's just say cobalt blue, Van Dyke brown, and white. Ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and white. I'm not going to paint this trunk yet because that trunk may disappear completely from the painting. I have not decided yet. But I'm going to scooch my chair over here. And we're going to do, I would like a grayer one here. I'd like these two to be sort of similar. I'll move the camera over a little bit so that you get a better angle on it. I'll continue to film from the same direction. So you can see those brush hairs hitting the trunk. We're going to go a little darker here. We're going to ignore the white a little bit. And just stick with, I don't want to go too blue. How's that looking? I think that's looking pretty good. This is an easy one. It's all in the shade. Don't really have a light and dark area on this one. Nothing very strong anyway. There are some slight fluctuations. Nothing to write to headquarters about. Certainly nothing to write home about. Boy, I made that one very thick. Where it meets the tree. It's okay. That's alright. I guess I'll bring that almost to the ground. Can't think of a reason not to, really. Let's put a bump on it. Let's put a bump right here. Get rid of that section of straight line. fairly flat looking here, but we're going to have texture here and here. This is pretty much designed. This needs a little bit of work. Clearly it looks a little bit alien. A little bit of work down here and here as well. We're not going to worry about that right now. Okay, now I'm going to have to consider what I'm going to do with the closest tree on the far right. So, I'll just take you up and down. See, that one I'm not sure about yet, that trunk. We're going to see. It may stay, it may go. But let's just go up and down this one right now. So you can see the type of brush strokes. The carefully, carelessly, well, you know, I want them to look a little careless, but they're actually quite carefully planted strokes. Again, the foliage isn't painted in, you know, the leaves or needles or whatever, but the trunk's in place. Okay. It's going a little blurred, but it's still, the camera shows it gray. It's actually a little more, in real life it's a little more brown than that. Okay. See you after the weekend.